Getting here with Gardening Simplified. It's October 31st, and it's going to get cold tonight, and we're going to talk about what to do to prepare for it. Now, the local weather for here says tonight's going to be 31. It was down to about a little below 34 last night. It's supposed to have been 38. Of course, when they give that weather, I'm thinking it's more of in-town weather. I always find it's 2 to 3 degrees colder out here. Tonight it says it's going to be 31, and tomorrow night it says it's going to be 29. Now, normally I don't worry too much about 29, about uh, faucets freezing hard or something, unless it gets below 28, which it could do. But I'm going to not just go over the normal things. And normal thing would be if you have a drain back faucet like this one, that you would want to make sure your hose is disconnected. And let me explain to you that's not familiar with that. It's because if your hose has water in it, it can't drain back and drain the hydrant. The sole purpose of this is that when you close this hydrant, it opens a hole in the bottom and allows this water to drain back all the way down to the bottom. Now, if you have a hose hooked up to it, it kind of holds a vacuum on this side, so it keeps all this unit full of water. So even though you got a drain back faucet and it's shut off, if it ain't broke, at least broke to where it suck air back right here, it's going to stay full of water and it's going to freeze. Some of you might have already found out that the hard way. But anyway, that's all I'm going to touch on faucet. The main thing I'm going to talk about is crops that you have that needs to be harvested. Now, she come through and harvested the cucumbers, and then I come back through and I harvested a lot of the little ones that's just big enough that I can use, because after they freeze, they're not going to be any good. They're going to go limp. They're not going to have any, unless you're just going to juice them up, they're not going to be any good. So if you have any, now there's some that's small on here, smaller than these ones I collect. If for some strange reason they manage to pull through, they can go on and keep going, but chances are it's going to kill all these. And we'll probably do a follow-up. Okra is the same way. Normally she'll let them get a little bit bigger. There'll be a lot of okra that are bigger than this, because she lets them get at least probably about that long, and then she'll harvest them. But she's harvested all the ones that are a size that she can use, because with those colder temperatures, the most likely these are going to freeze too. And it's going to be the same with the peppers. Any that's ready, now we're going to harvest them. I don't know how many of these paprikas we're going to have left, but we're going to harvest them, at least the ones that are changing colors a little bit. We'll harvest even the smaller hatch, and we'll harvest all the green chilies out of here, or the cayennes. Now, we won't mess with our ghost peppers or yellow scorpions, because we don't really use those. Those are strictly market. We're going to have to come down here and put some covers on our pineapples. They'll do okay down to about 28. They should be good, but if it gets 29 tomorrow, and it's most likely going to get a couple degrees colder, it's going to get below my threshold for that. Now, these watermelons, there's not going to be anything that we can do for these. Chances it's going to kill the vines. There are a couple of watermelons that's getting close, but we're not going to harvest them until after the vines die, and hopefully we'll get at least one to eat. A lot of these, like your brassicas, the turnips and mustard greens, now these will probably do all right. I'm not going to water them, because the more leaf or the more water that's in the leaves of the plants, the harder it's going to be on them. I'll wait until these cold spells are over and go from there. Our cabbage that's down there, it'll be fine. It can take those temperatures fairly well. It might burn some of the leaves, but they'll be okay. We do have our greenhouses closed up. Tonight, we'll go ahead and put wiggle wire on these ends, so there won't be any wind that can blow this open and cause extra cool air. And we're going to have to cover some things inside of there. But I better get after harvesting some of these pepper, so we can well be on our way to getting all this done. Now, when you're doing that harvesting before the freeze, don't forget your fruit trees. This pear tree still is loaded up. They're ripe. We've just been eating them. But there's no sense in letting them go to waste, so we're going to harvest all of these. Okay, there we go. We got a nice little batch of poblanos. There's a good bit of habaneros. Picked a few that were just changing. And we got a pretty good bit of bell peppers there. And our cayennes, got a pretty good bit of them. Over here's our paprikas. Now, a lot of times we'll take and set these on the counter, let them turn red. That way, the paprika look a little better. And we take a few green tomatoes and almost a half a bushel of pears. Oh, and let's not forget my favorite. There we go, cucumbers and squash. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. And I hope you get out there and don't have any problems losing something due to the freeze. You see how much I got just gathering up. And anyway, if you want to see more like this, just hit that subscribe, hit the bell, select all, give her a big thumbs up. Enjoy that gardening experience.